What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that has absolutely exploded online. R&B superstar Chris Brown just made a surprise appearance in Orlando. In court, and the details are pretty wild. Let's break it all down. On October 27th, Chris Brown, completely unannounced, walked into Westminster Magistrates' Court in London. Why, he's facing a serious charge: assault occasioning actual bodily harm. This all stems from an alleged incident that went down back in October 2023 at Tape London, a super exclusive nightclub in Mayfair. So, who's the other person involved? A well-known British music producer named Avocado Jones, who goes by Bayo. He's worked with huge names in the UK scene like Stormzy and Dave. According to the allegations, a dispute over unpaid studio time got incredibly heated. It's claimed that Brown shouted something like, "You think you can bill me and disappear," before allegedly striking Jones in the head multiple times with a bottle of Don Julio 1942. Tequila. That's a heavy bottle. Jones reportedly ended up with a 3-inch cut on his scalp that needed stitches. The court was even shown security footage, which isn't public, that allegedly shows Brown swinging the bottle before his own team jumped in to restrain him. Now, what makes this even more dramatic is that Brown was legally required to be at this preliminary hearing. He could have had his lawyers handle it. Instead, he flew all the way to the UK, suited up, and showed up in person. He stood before the judge, confirmed his name, and even provided a temporary UK address in Surrey. His legal team, led by a top lawyer named Claire Davies, immediately asked for strict reporting restrictions. They argued that Brown has been receiving death threats and a ton of online abuse since the news broke. The judge, Vanessa Breitzer, didn't grant a full blackout, but did put some restrictions in place. For instance, news outlets are barred from publishing any new photos of Brown entering or leaving the courthouse. After the hearing, Brown was released on conditional bail. The conditions are pretty standard for a case like this. He has to stay at a UK address, surrender his passport if he plans to travel internationally, and most importantly have absolutely no contact with Bayo Jones or any of the witnesses. A 5-day trial has now been officially scheduled for July 13th to 17th, 2026 at the Southwark Crown Court. So, this is going to be a long process. As you can imagine, the second the news hit, social media went into a complete meltdown. On X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, hashtags like #ChrisBrownUck and the classic #FreeBreezy started trending worldwide, racking up over 2 million mentions in just a few hours. But TikTok is where things really took off. The #ChrisBrownCourt has already gathered more than 180 million views. We're seeing everything from fans literally crying outside the courthouse, shouting "Free Breezy," to critics making video edits that juxtapose clips from this new case with his past legal troubles. It's become a massive online battleground. Even UK drill rapper Unknown T got in on the action. dropping a freestyle right outside the court that instantly went viral. The public opinion is, as you'd expect, completely split down the middle. On one side, you have his dedicated fanbase praising him for, as one user put it, flying in to face his issues head-on. They see his surprise court appearance as a sign of maturity and accountability. On the other side, you have a lot of people who are just tired. A comment that's been getting a lot of traction says, "Same story, different country," often accompanied by the hashtag survivor solidarity. This case is dredging up a lot of his history and forcing people to confront it all over again. Let's not forget the crucial backstory here. Chris Brown was actually banned from entering the United Kingdom for over a decade, from 2010 to 2022. That ban was a direct result of his 2009 assault conviction involving Rihanna. He had only just recently started performing in the UK again after the ban was lifted. So for him to run into legal trouble this quickly is a really big deal. This is his first legal issue in the UK since being allowed back into the country. So, what are the potential consequences? The charge, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, carries a maximum sentence of 5 years behind bars. However, legal experts weighing in on the case suggest that because Brown has no prior convictions in the UK, a suspended sentence and a hefty fine are a more likely outcome if he is found guilty. Of course, that's a big if, and it all depends on how the trial plays out. Looking ahead, what happens next? A pre-trial hearing is set for March 2026, with the full trial kicking off that July. This timeline could seriously mess with his professional life. He has a 2026 European tour in the works, and that could easily be delayed or even cancelled depending on the travel restrictions imposed by the court. We also know his team is in full-on crisis mode. They've hired a high-profile London PR firm to try and manage the public fallout, which is growing by the day. Ultimately, this whole situation is about so much more than just a nightclub fight. Chris Brown's surprise court appearance has thrown a huge spotlight on the issue of celebrity. Accountability. Will the British justice system treat him like any other person facing these charges? Or will his fame and wealth influence the outcome? With a major trial now locked in, this is shaping up to be one of the most watched celebrity legal battles in the UK for years. It's a story we'll be following very closely. What do you all think about this? Does his showing up in court change your perception of him? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates on this and other major stories. We'll see you in the next one.